My dad, he was a great role model. He was very active in scouting with me. Now, my dad in World War II was deferred, but then when they started the draft, everyone was going. He joined the Marine Corps. But a couple of weeks before he was to depart for Parris Island, they passed the age law, and my dad did not have to go, which is good for me because those who went to Parris Island the same time my dad would have landed on Iwo Jima. So I would have probably grown up without a dad. And I had a cousin that was in the Marine Corps in the occupation of World War II in Japan. So those were the things that got me oriented towards the Marine Corps. I went to the Officer Basic School at Quantico, Virginia, and at the completion of that, went to a month artillery school at Quantico, and then I went off to the 3rd Marine Division, which was my first tour of duty. And I was a forward observer with the artillery, then became a liaison officer. So it was a very exciting tour, and at that point I realized, you know, this Marine Corps is turning into more of a way of life than a job for me. I went into Vietnam as a forward observer in 1965 and was assigned to Echo Battery, 2nd Battalion, 12th Marines, out of my first patrol. And on the 18th of December, we're coming back down out of the Kwe San Mountains, and my company was the rear element security of the battalion movement. And all of a sudden I heard some shooting up forward and didn't think too much of it, but then all of a sudden all hell broke loose because a battalion of NVA or regiment, well dug in, well camouflaged, ambushed the whole battalion at one time. The initial rounds, they picked out Captain Gormley from New Hampshire, our company commander, with his radio operator behind it, and they knew he was the leadership. The initial rounds hit, mortally wounded him, killed the radio operator. And then I see the corpsman, Doc West, go running by me, and he hollers, "The skipper's down." And I looked out about 75 yards, and there was a pile of bodies there. Company commander, the radio operator, and a couple other troops. Then I realized company commander's down, the radio operator's out there, my scout sergeant's down. So I ran out and picked up Captain Gormley in my arms and brought him back. He died in my arms. Then I realized, you know, someone's going to take charge. And so I ran out and took the radio off the dead operator, brought it back, strapped it to myself, called the battalion commander, who didn't know me from Adam, let him know that I was a forward observer, company commander's down, I was taking over the company. He said, "Well, where's the XO?" And I said, "Sir, they're all in one hell of a firefight." So I led one counterattack on the infantry that had us pinned down on our right, very bad. And then General Platt, the task force commander, was overhead in a Huey. General Platt says, "You know, I can turn over some Huey gunships to you. Would they help?" I said, "You better believe it." So I took over controlling the gunships, and I ran out and up on a little knoll, and I had a 3.5 rocket launcher, and I would fire the white phosphorus rounds at various targets, and then the pilots would hit where I hit. And so we knocked down the fire enough on our right flank that we were able to maneuver around a little bit. On into the battle, the battalion commander got on the hook, and he says, "You know, you got to come out. We can't come get you." Well, it's 500 meters between we are and rice paddies to the village of Ki Fu. So I had the engineers blow down some trees, brought in helicopters to take out the dead and the wounded, and then we started squads at a time. I told them, run as fast as you can. The only time you stop is someone Marine gets shot. You stop and pick them up, because we don't leave anybody on the battlefield. So this was a real eye-opening experience for this young lieutenant of what the Marine Corps is all about, what Marines are all about, and what Marines can accomplish if they put their minds to it. So I decided at that time, man, I'm hanging around. I'm staying in this Corps. I wore this in honor of those great Marines and phenomenal Navy corpsmen that I got to lead on the field of battle. And I think of those who gave their lives that day as a team member. And if they hadn't done what they did, we might not have been successful. I don't look at myself as a hero. I look at myself as a leader of heroes. If you really want to talk about heroes, let's talk about that Marine who commandeered a pickup truck in Las Vegas and made 12 trips to the hospital. Think of those officers who, when everybody's running, went into the line of fire. Those are heroes. On the day I got decorated at Green Barracks, Washington, D.C., our Commandant, General Green, said to me afterwards, he said, "You know, Barnum, you're going to have a good career because of or in spite of that medal. It's your choice." Well, I hope to think that I did it in spite of.